Just kind of walk us through last weekend. It's pretty productive, and after the first game, they got up 1-0 through 2 periods. You guys were able to respond a little bit in the third period. Just kind of summarize what happened last week.
We didn't want to, going up there or out there was a new experience for us. We didn't want to give them any time and any space, and I think we did a fairly good job at keeping them to the outside and not letting them run us over. Like I know coming to a big crowd like that, home teams like to set up the pace early and kind of dominate the ice and the playing time in the zone. But I think we did a good job coming out big and strong and definitely hard and laying the body on them, and that way not really letting them get that step over us. And I think that in a way frustrated them, and we were able to capitalize on our chances.
How much, having played them last year, helped you guys prepare for this? And Rick said from looking at the tape last week that they're pretty much the same team as what you guys saw out here last year. How much did that kind of prepare you for last weekend?
That was definitely in the back of our minds. We remember them as a big and heavy team, and they came here and they were dominating us. They were playing bigger than us. They were playing faster than us, and just we know that like you can't give them that like one minute in a game and you let them in and then they're all over you. And we were just trying to be very physical out there.
You started off 0-5, 8-1-1 since that. What's changed? What's different?
Sticking with it. Not getting frustrated. We know. I think during that losing streak too, we were at times we were playing really good, just not 60 minutes, and knowing how good we are when we can be, just in the back of our mind and coming back to that and working on the consistency is. That's a big one, consistency, I think.
Will that, something like that, the positive results you're seeing, help you avoid a possible letdown from an exciting weekend at North Dakota before coming home?
Hey, can you say that again?
Are you concerned about a possible emotional letdown after your North Dakota trip with this weekend? Or have you guys kind of learned enough in the last 10 games that you might avoid kind of a letdown there?
No, I think it's just every game is a new game, and as far as the North Dakota weekend, it's done with. We took the positives from those games and we learned from the negatives, and just we working really hard on consistency, and it's fresh a pair of fresh 2 games this weekend that we're focused on. So.
Ford's team has had so much success in the past. I'm sure it was really hard to open the season and not have the same success that you guys have been used to. That said, was that part of the desire, because you guys know what it is, to be one of the top teams in the country? Was that part of the desire to get back there?
No, yeah, absolutely. That's you always want that, and going from last year, all the pieces we lost and stuff, and so we were really trying to build off that, but also said come back to our identity that we know we have in the locker room, and how do I explain it? I'm drawing blank.
It's okay, it happens to me all the time. Sorry, I was just going to kind of rephrase the two a little bit. With kind of the extremes of, the tough start and then such an exciting and positive weekend at North Dakota, do you guys feel like you are keeping still mentally kind of straight and not being too high or too low? Yes.
That brings me back to consistency, and that's it's something like if we notice that we're having a bad practice, or we're kind of not going through emotions, we try to fix that right away and just get back to how we know we can play, and just give it all the time, basically.
Walk us through the goal that Brett scored that you set up, and You guys connected, you know, obviously you've played with each other before, but at this point in the season, you're starting to connect a little better than maybe at the beginning of the year when you guys were just coming off a preseason.
Yeah, no, that goal, I think we, in those situations where there's a little 50-50 puck and we have a chance to capitalize, and we do, I think that's huge. I think that's something we need to do more. It's a little bit expected of us. But yeah, it was a 50-50 puck going up. I think it bounced up and it bounced right to me. So I just took it, pulled it to the left to get the D with me, and then try to get it over to Brett. And the rest was his show, really.
Did you have a good look at him, or were you just kind of passing to a spot, expecting him to get to it and do what he does?
I had the feeling. I think I knew he was behind me. He was yelling. I think he was yelling.
That helps.
So I really just put it where he was yelling. So that was all him. Yeah.
I'm just curious, were you paying attention to the NHL games that were played in Sweden a couple of weeks ago, and by any chance did you know anybody that went to them?
No, that's Stockholm. That's too far up for me. It's too uncomfortable for me to go that far up in Sweden.
I told you guys last year, but you went in and had a very productive weekend.
Yeah, they came in here. We were excited to play them last year, and they kind of ran our show in our own building. We watched that tape a lot, and we realized that we need to play them. We need to play hard. We need to play physical. And so we went out there with that game plan. We had to be heavy on our sticks, and they're a tough team. They're a tough team to play against, especially in that building. So we went out there and we knew we had to be physical, and we kind of just had to execute our game plan. And I think we had a fairly successful weekend.
And the rankings kind of fluctuate a lot over the course of the season, but what does it do for you guys at this point in the season to beat a number 3 team in the country?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps us with like the pairwise and whatnot. But I mean, from like inside the locker room standpoint, we don't really look at any of that stuff. We just approach every game like it's a must-win. With that slow start, I think we've really come around, and you've seen a full 180 from our team. I think it's just compete level, never giving up, and we just really go out every game like it's a must-win.
Rick, go back to the first few weeks. You're 0-5. Was there a turning point in a game, a practice, a team meeting that kind of helped you guys right the ship a little bit?
No, I mean, we weren't playing bad. We were 0-5. We weren't getting the results we wanted. We had a couple bad lapses during that, but we weren't playing bad. I think just puck started to fall. We started to score more goals. We kind of really came together as a team. There was a lot of new guys. Not making an excuse, but we were just getting to know each other, and I think the deeper we got into the season, the more comfortable we got with each other, and then we kind of figured out that it really is going to take everyone in here to win hockey games.
The guys that have been in the locker room, you know, the veterans, are used to winning. The guys that were new recruits, expected to join a team that has such a rich tradition over the last couple of years. The results, now that they're finally coming, is this where you guys kind of like expected to be, and there's maybe some sense of sort of satisfaction that the results are now coming?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't. I mean, from the outside, we weren't really pegged to be such a great force in the league this year. But we knew we had a strong group of guys in the locker room. It's obviously hard for coming in as a freshman. I know it happened to our seniors, and like especially winning that national championship, you kind of come in and it's like, but you really haven't done anything. Like we know that, like we haven't won anything, so it's kind of just the culture in the locker room is winning. So once you come in, you kind of open up, and then you get to realize that, and then it helps bring the guys together.
Jake had a very good weekend last weekend, and subsequently wins the Conference Goalie of the Week award. How close is the competition between those two guys right now? And that's got to be pretty encouraging thing to see.
Yeah, I mean, they're both great goalies, so it's a great problem to have. I mean, Kupski played amazing out there, especially in that rink. Tough to play in, kind of nothing like we've seen before in our career. So it was awesome to see him rise to the challenge and really shut away almost every great opportunity they had.
It's easy to look at the standings. The two teams you're playing coming in this weekend are kind of at the bottom, and the Yale's in the middle. Do you have to worry about the letdown, as Sean mentioned, with Sebastian, of having the big weekend last week and then coming back and getting back into ECAC play?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last weekend was great. I think we should have had 2 wins. We kind of let up there, late goal. That's on us, but so we're happy with that weekend, but it's behind us. I mean, we watched film, we grew from it, and I mean, Yale, Brown's played us hard since I've been here. Every game we play against them, they're a tough team. They always come out flying against us, and they have a lot of skill. So I think both them and Yale are a fast, skilled team, and I think they're going to be great games. They always are.
Go ahead.
Does it help to avoid a letdown that you have league games coming in, you're 5-1 in the league? That, every league game is huge, obviously, and instead of having the 2 non-conference games that are going to come the weekend after, that you guys go right back into league play?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it matters too much, but we know every league game matters. We only get 22, so we need to get every point we can. So these games are obviously huge. We haven't seen these teams yet this year. They obviously started a little later, so they haven't played as many games. So, I mean, just like us, we had a slow start, so I mean, it could be for them, but I think they're both playing good hockey. Obviously, it's exciting to get back into league play because those games always mean a little bit more. But I think we just need to take this weekend like every other one, just try and go and get that win on Friday.
Not to harp too much on last weekend, but I was just curious that you guys were down 1-0 after 2 periods, and then kind of the light bulb went on scoring-wise at the beginning. You guys playing the same way, and then finally a couple got in the back of the net, or did you kind of alter anything going into the third period?
No, I think we were playing the same way. I mean, we had a lot of good D-zone wins in the first and second, and I think it kind of wore them down. They had a lot of time in zone, but they weren't getting many opportunities. Didn't even have that many shots on net for their time in zone. So I think we kind of got a break, just a few bounces in the beginning of the third, which we capitalized in, and I think it just came to fruition throughout the game.
How loud were you yelling for that puck on?
Yeah, I mean, coach always emphasized talk, so you just try and talk when you're open, and Viddy made a great play.
ECAC points on the line, of course, and the league is always tough top to bottom, but do you have to watch out for letdown after the big weekend against North Dakota coming into this weekend at all?
Yeah, it's always something that's in the back of the coaching staff's mind, but at the same token, if you start to bring it up and dwell on it, it's going to be in their minds. So we want to make sure that we're just focusing on today's practice and tomorrow's practice and just get ready. So to me, the preparation is the biggest, and that's what we have to focus on, not worrying about, some letdowns.
What is your takeaway from last weekend on the road and playing very well against the number 3 team in the country?
Just the fact that we have to build on, that weekend. And we have to be sure that we know that was last weekend. I know Jake Kupski was, goalie of the week last weekend. And that's crucial. If you want to be consistent and you want to get better each game and each practice, then you get over yourself as quickly as possible and just get focused for the next practice and next game. And to me, that's where we're at right now.
Was there a moment back in 0-5, a moment, a practice, a game, or whatever that kind of helped you guys turn things around, or is it just a case where you're practicing better and playing better?
I thought we just practiced better, and that just kind of led to the games. There was a little more urgency within the practice, which led to the games. They started to get a little, success through the games, which meant they had a little more focus in practice, and that's kind of where it turned around. I thought the goaltending switch helped both goalies, and the fact that, it just kind of changed the mindset. And we did it again going out there. I just thought, and I was up front with the goaltenders, the whole coaching staff was about, it's all determined by practice. It was the same question that was asked out there by the North Dakota press. Why'd you go with so-and-so? You practice better. And that's how we evaluate our players for the games.
What's your read on the 2 teams coming in here? Brown seems to have a little bit of momentum. Yale is kind of the opposite of that, losing 4 straight. What do you expect out of these teams?
Well, I think this was the year that Brown had, you know, their older guys are NHL draft players, and they're, you know, this was going to be the year, and they're, you know, kind of following up on that. They're dangerous, those guys, and we just have to be ready for it. Defensively, we have to be committed to D against a team like Brown, because we don't want to be sitting there just trading chance for chance. We're not interested in 7-6 hockey versus them, and that's going to be a good test for us to see if we can, you know, just play our systems versus getting caught up in their system. Yale, to me, is always dangerous. If you're not going to transition to defense, it's going to be a long night for you. So it's going to be a 200-foot hockey game. Always has been against them because they have some elite forwards, and we just got to be ready for that.
They've lost 4 straight, but they beat Harvard 5-2. Have you seen the tape of the Harvard game?
I have not yet.
Okay.
Our staff breaks down the Saturday night. I have Friday night, but I'll see hopefully their game on Friday night, possibly too. But I will, you know, we'll touch back on that as well.
Do you at any point anticipate having, I know that you say it's, the starting job is one in practice, do you anticipate kind of having your go-to guy by the end of the season, or is this something that you think is sustainable and you can, you know, keep switching them out depending on what you see on the ice in practice?
Oh, okay. That's a fair question, and that is dictated by them. And that's the beauty of it. And if we have that, I hope we have that problem, and it's not really a problem. It's just something that we have to discuss. But if you have two goaltenders that are ready to go, I like that. I like that question.
Does that filter down to the rest of the team if they see the goalies kind of not battling each other in practice but vying for it? Does that filter down to the other position players as well, knowing that competition's there?
I think so. We have competition everywhere, you know, within our lineup, and it's no different with the goalies. But, you know, from that position out, I do think that when Jake went in, I don't think we gave him enough support. We were playing some very good ball clubs there, and it caught us good. Because I didn't think we rallied around Jake as much as we rallied around Hans, you know, and thought that was a learning and a growth lesson for us. And then when Jake went back in, we gave him a lot more help, and I think his record, reflects that, which is nice to see.
Thanks, Coach.
Good.
Thanks.
You got it.